everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Joleen Lunzer here, stand-up comedian and Bravo superfan, to break down all things part 3 of the Vanderpump Rules reunion. I am gobsmacked. Normally I wait until I watch the Peacock episode, the uncensored, unfiltered, with all the swears episode of the reunion before I go live. But tomorrow night I'm going to be at a playoff hockey game, so I'm like, I better do it tonight. Plus I wanted to see all you beautiful people. And we got to get into it, okay? I'm going to do this roast and recap the only way we know how, with a comedic twist, you guys. We recap, roast, give our thoughts. You are welcome to have your thoughts in the chat. Please, please, please sound off. Hit that like if you haven't already. It helps me in the algorithm. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you want to support the channel further than liking or subscribing, you can do what Jennifer Williams did. Send a super chat while we're live, and I will highlight your comment, and it supports the channel. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Jennifer says, oh, Jennifer, the t-shirt comment, anyone still going to his shows? I can't anymore. We're going to get into that. I feel like laughing. I feel like crying. I've felt all the emotions watching the third part of this reunion. So we are definitely going to get into it. Thank you so much for the super chat. You can also join my membership if you want to. The link is pinned to the top of this. I can't even. Okay. It's so crazy. Oh my God. All right. So let's just kind of work backwards here. The big reveal. Let's get right into it. The big reveal that Bravo kept teasing, saying, hey, that after they find this out, some people might not want to come back and work. And there's been a lot of speculation. Is Lisa moving her business to Las Vegas? Is who knows? Is Rachel pregnant? Are Tom and Rachel married? You know, did Lisa know for a really long time? Well, it turns out the big reveal was Rachel at the end. She did a 5-minute interview, which I really think they didn't have to save this till the end. They could have added this in earlier. So Raquel was interviewed at the end, and this was 6 weeks, I think they said, after filming. She did her final interview where she opened up completely about the situation with her and Tom Sandy Butt. So my question is, what was the date of filming wrap? Which I'm sure we'll all find out if it's not already out there on social media. So I'm going to have to do another roast and recap once the Peacock version of this reunion hits. And then we have secrets revealed next week. Okay. So basically did the producers know before Ariana found the phone? That's kind of what I'm wondering. I don't think so, but it seems like what Raquel did is she did a separate interview 6 weeks, I believe they said, after filming. Could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. And she debunked all of Tom Sandoval's lies. So Tom Sandoval has been pushing this narrative since Scandoval broke that, Raquel and him, they only did it once and then they took a break. Because, when you are cheating with someone and you're hot in the loins and it's really, you're getting off on the sneakiness of it, you just cool off. You just freaking go, let's take a break. Let's let our loins breathe. Oh, 6 days. Okay. I apologize. 6 days, not 6 weeks, 6 days, 6 something. All right. You guys still processing all of it. Okay. So Tom's been trying to push this narrative that they took a break and they weren't cheating anymore with each other. They just did it the once. And then it picked up later because Ariana's a bitch and she didn't like his glitter pants. And she told him, he's never going to amount to anything. And she only let him take so much out of the home equity. And she kept asking him, when are you going to pay your mom back her retirement? So she just deserved to be cheated on, in Tom's word. He made her dumpling lattes. You guys remember the dumpling lattes? He woke her up every morning, even though he was putting his dick in other people. He was still brought her a latte. Ladies, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You can't appreciate a guy that brings you a latte and he likes to dip his wick in something else. I mean, what is wrong with us women? I mean, we should be so grateful for a guy like Tom Sandy Butt, who is just, contracting STDs all around LA, allegedly. And but making us lattes. But he knows that we like oat milk. It's just like, oh, I like oat milk. That's so sweet. It's okay if you cheat on me. So again, everything we're gonna say and all the commentary I'm gonna provide is my opinion and alleged, obviously. Alleged. Everything is true except for the parts that are false. And like Michelle says, yes, please hit that like and subscribe. Okay. So Leslie says, I got that the reveal, it's that this bombshell would probably affect whether Sandoval resigns, but no one cares about Tom, so it's a flop. It is kind of a flop. What I was shocked by, so Rachel Raquel says, no. Tom Sandoval saying we just had sex the once, which no one believed anyways. And then we took a break and then we didn't start back up for months. Rachel Raquel said, no, I can't lie anymore. We've been having sex. They even had sex in Mexico, Sheena's wedding, which a lot of people had already speculated that there was stuff going on during Sheena's wedding, because if you remember, the designers of Sheena's dress, her wedding dress, those two guys have a podcast, and they went on Jeff Lewis's podcast and they said, oh, we saw Tom and Rachel Raquel kissing at the wedding, but we didn't know, we can't tell the Toms apart. We can't tell a straight white guy apart from a straight white guy. They were just like, I don't know, they all look alike, very racialist. No. And so they were just like, I don't know. We thought it was the other Tom. Turns out it was Tom Sandy Butt. Rachel Raquel says, yeah, they did it in Mexico. According to Rachel Raquel, he was stumbling around and she heard him. She had her Tom Sandoval ears on. She was like, is that Tom outside of my room? He was probably looking for a hotel room to hump her. And he's like, I'm so drunk and 70 years old. And he can't, after 50, you really can't handle your liquor as well. So I hear, allegedly. All right. Your tolerance goes down a little bit. And so he's stumbling around and she comes on. She's like, get in here. And then she told, the Mexican police or whoever was out in the hallway, he's okay. He's just drunk. And then come on in and give me your whiskey dick. So apparently they did it then. And then the producers ask, well, did you do it more than once in Mexico? And she's like, yeah. So they were just bumping and grinding, humping and humping in Mexico while Sheena had all her wedding festivities, and Ariana was right there in a room with Tom Sandy Butt. So I still think we don't know the full story. We still don't know how long this has been going on. It's been going on a lot longer than either of them will let us know, or either of them want us to believe. Okay. So also, Rachel Raquel's coming clean and she's like, because perfect didn't feel so perfect. She's having her Hills moment and she's just opening up saying, oh, yes, we did it in Mexico. Yes, we did it on a tree. Yes, I did it on his knee. I do Tom Sandoval. I do love Tom Sandoval. Yes, I do. She was just Dr. Seussing us with these riddles. And then the producer said, well, have you met his family? Yes, I've met his mother in LA. And the producer's like, how about in St. Louis, where he's from, where his family lives? Did you go there? And Rachel Raquel said, no. And he's like, well, I mean, here's a picture. Is that you? Is that Tom? That's you and Tom in St. Louis around Christmas together. And then she's like, I have a horrible poker face. It's really bad. Yeah, but I don't recall. She pulled a Oliver North. If you guys are old enough to get that reference, I don't recall, counsel. I remember that as a child. I was in my mother's womb and I heard that. So I'm not that old. Okay. But in utero, I heard Oliver North. It was his answer. I don't recall, counsel. I don't recall, counsel. And that's what she was saying. She didn't recall anything, even though we knew she was lying. And she said she had a bad poker face. So she was giving us these truths. But here's my thing. And let me know what you guys think. Okay. She appeared to me to be terrified of Tom Sandoval finding out that she was sharing this information she wasn't supposed to. Because like we know about Tom Sandy, but he coaches. And he's got to be the boss applesauce. And she at one point goes, he's going to kill me. And when he finds out I told. And she was shaking. It left me feeling really gross, the end of that. Let me recognize Jennifer Super Chat. Him and Rachel FaceTimed at her funeral after they hooked up in their home. I can't. Oh, God. I know. So then Rachel Raquel also goes on to say, we didn't want it to come out because it sounds horrible if you are having sex with your friend's boyfriend in her house when she's at a funeral. And you're like, yes, yes, that's freaking horrible. And thank you, Jennifer, for the super chat. I think at this point, see, I'm trying to, my initial thoughts are she's afraid of him. But I think it has more to do with the fact that she's blown up her whole life for this guy. And right now she feels as though she only has Tom. So if she loses him and if she doesn't do what he says, she's alone. She's by herself. And I think that's the fear. I think that Tom Sandoval, and this is where the dangerous comment that Lala made definitely comes into play. Tom Sandoval is a manipulative prick. Tom Sandoval is the worst kind of dude you can ever date. Future women out there, look for these signs in guys you date. And if they are like Tom Sandoval, run. Run, run, run. Run. Call the authorities. Call the dog catcher. Okay, dog catch is going to get ya, mother freaking mutt, because he is a mutt. Okay, this man is trash. After watching this part of the reunion, I can't say enough bad things about Tom Sandoval. He sucks balls. He sucks all the balls. He sucks the dirty balls, the clean balls, the low balls, the high balls. He sucks balls. Okay, Tom Sandoval is the type of man that will go out there and Wreck-It Ralph on people's lives and lie and manipulate to the point where you start believing this myth that you are the only one, that you are special, and all these other people have hurt him. And that's what Rachel Raquel, she fell into, like the pick me mentality. Okay. And she was like, oh, but Tom, it's Ariana. And he said that Ariana is just a bitch to him. This is what he does. He pits women against each other. He pits people against each other. He's been able to do this successfully because, he lacks empathy for others. It's all about him. He's got these narcissistic tendencies. He was all right attractive at one point in his life. So he was able to get away with this. Regarding the show, he's gotten a great edit. But Tom Sandoval is a dirty, rotten scoundrel. The moment this dirt bag of a man wants my sympathy, he can go straight to hell. He can go straight to hell, and then he can go to the next hell, and then the next hell, and the next hell, and keep knocking on hell's door, okay, with a Satan sandwich. Because this man, when he talked about Ariana and Jennifer's super chat earlier, it triggered something in me, and I'm sure it does a lot of people and a lot of women. When he talked about having sex with Ariana while she had a t-shirt on. So the subject came up of, babe, it's going to happen to you. Rachel Raquel, he's going to cheat on you. Well, technically he did, Rachel Raquel, because even Rachel, after the first part one of the reunion, she was like, I don't really like this conversation, this narrative that you and Ariana were having sex. I thought I was the only one. I thought I was, the main hoe. I was the side chick, but also the main hoe. I thought, you weren't doing it with Ariana. And he's like, oh God, yeah, Ariana, just like, God, she like, my glitter pants. And then she would be like, oh, you could dress. And then next day she'd be like, you can't dress. And then so it was like, oh, I had to have sex with her when she said I was a good dresser. So then he blames Ariana. And then Ariana says, well, you still had sex with me while you're having sex with Rachel Raquel. So technically you did cheat on her. And he goes, yeah, I had sex with her, with you, and you had a t-shirt on. Yeah, that was really hot. My mouth dropped. I went straight to TikTok. Follow me on TikTok at Joleen Lunzer. I had to say something because I was like, this fucking monster of a man. How dare you? First of all, you're lucky you got any sex from Ariana. You're lucky Ariana ever touched your weenie peenie. You are so lucky, St. Louis Tom, that anyone touches that. You can't sing. You can't dance. You can't act. You can't run the bars. You can't be an honest man. You are so lucky that horniness exists, or you would never get touched. You are so lucky that alcohol exists, or you would never have the intercourse, okay? what it takes, knowing if you loved Ariana, this guy keeps saying, I love you, I love you, I don't care even if you never talk to me again, I'll always be rooting for you. You didn't root for her when you were in the relationship, so you're not going to root for her when you're outside the relationship, you liar. You dumb liar. When this man, if he really loved her, he would know that Ariana has, just like many of us women, insecurities about our bodies. Ariana in particular has put it on national television that she has insecurities about her body due to dating another douchebag who commented on her body. So when a woman, just speaking as a straight woman, when we give ourselves and we, want to be with our partner and we kind of, we feel that we feel vulnerable, we feel trusting enough to be around someone, to share our love with someone, despite our own insecurities, despite the world constantly picking us apart, despite every advertisement from the time when we're a little tiny girl telling us, buy this, be skinnier, have a smaller nose, have bigger tits, have smaller tits. Your ass is too big, your ass is too small. The world coming at us, comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy, but us always being forced to compare because we live in this world that is basically just a giant freaking commercial of consumerism that wants women to buy, and fix your face and, put this zit cream on. Oh, you got a wrinkle. Oh, one of your tits is bigger than the other. You always have to worry. Okay. So the fact that he took that moment to continue to humiliate or try to humiliate Ariana and talk about the t-shirt sex. First of all, sir, you're together 10 years. T-shirt sex is a must. All right. T-shirt sex can be the hottest sex you've ever had, but you just don't know how to have sex. All you do is just bang, bang. You just bang, bang. You bang, bang. You wear lifts in your shoes and you bang, bang. Okay. There's nothing sexy about that. But if you're doing it the right way, t-shirt sex can be the hottest shit in the world. You could pretend that shit's a skirt. You can pretend it's a dress. You can hike it up to your tots.
Did you say t-shirt sex?
Scared me again, husband.
Sorry, I was just.
It makes my husband horny when we talk.
I was just at Circle K and I heard t-shirt sex.
And you ran home.
Yeah, so I didn't know if that was happening.
Right or wrong, Chell. T-shirt sex can be the hottest sex ever.
Well, I just drove 50 miles to get here because I heard t-shirt sex.
T-shirt sex. You're not doing it right. You're not doing it right, Tom. And to try to rip on, she wouldn't take her t-shirt off. I wonder why. Why would she want a monster like you looking at her body? You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. But also, when you're together for a long time, you get some t-shirt sex going on. You got some t-shirt sex. You got some slide some underwear to the side sex. You never know what kind of sex you're going to get. Okay? Maybe she wanted to be a little inventive. But how dare you? How dare you when you're cheating on her with her friend, you criticize the kind of sex you're getting from her. You freaking monster. You monster. You could tie the t-shirt up. All of a sudden, the t-shirt becomes a crop top. Who doesn't want crop top sex? Maybe it's one tit out, one tit in sex. I mean, you get creative, you dum-dum. Not even creative. AK, thank you so much for the super chat. Can we talk about LVP calling out Rachel, but not Scandoval? Yes, we will definitely talk about that.
One tit in sex?
Yeah, like, if you've got a t-shirt, like let's say I'm wearing a t-shirt or you're wearing a t-shirt, like one tit in, one tit out.
Whoa.
See, right?
I just drove from Circle K.
He just drove. Wow, these Circle Ks are really far.
I heard one tit in.
One titty in, one titty out. One titty in, one titty out. Okay. Lori says, hi, Chell. My t-shirt never bothered anyone who cares. No, if someone really cares about you, they're never going to, first of all, cheat on you. Second of all, comment. If you're with the right man, he's going to just love any sex with you. That's how men work. Okay, Tom, I'm sorry you don't work that way. I'm sorry you're that damaged of a human being that you have to continue to bring someone else down. What a freaking monster. Right, Nico? A monster. That t-shirt comment and everybody reacted. Even Schwartz. And Schwartz gets it wrong all the time. Schwartz is always on the wrong side of history on this. And Schwartz is like, oh, you can't say that. Tom's like, what? God, Ariana. And Ariana's also really little. And Ariana's t-shirts are probably really little and cute. Okay. Oh my God. But even if I'm in a 4X t-shirt, even if I'm in a 12X t-shirt, you're going to love it. If I'm wearing a tent, you better love it. Because if you love me, you're going to love it. And that's just not something you share with the fucking world either. You idiot. Oh my God, this guy, when he made the t-shirt comment and me knowing And watching Ariana all these seasons and knowing how honest and vulnerable she has been and how much pain this beautiful woman has had. I mean, her body is perfect and wonderful because all of our bodies are just the way they're supposed to be, perfect and wonderful, despite what society, the media, anyone tells you. Um, and the fact that she's sitting there with all these insecurities, and then you have this guy, this is the man that she trusted. This is like her person. And every time you are with that person that you love, that you trust that they would never throw something like that back in your face, that they would never disparage you, your intimacy, your body, what you wear during intimacy, that they wouldn't try to embarrass you like that. But we're not talking about a regular man. We're talking about Tom Sandoval, the monstrous man who thinks he can sing and it comes out like screeching karaoke, like the worst drunken karaoke you've ever heard at the worst, smelliest bar you've ever been to, because allegedly he stinks. I didn't make that up. That's what happens. First of all, Tom, you can't tell me nothing until you pay your mom back. You can't tell me nothing. When you owe your mom $250,000 for a strip mall bar, you can't tell ladies nothing. And anyone from this moment forward who has sex with Tom, goes to Tom Sandoval's shows, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get this dude. Oh my God. Right? Ariana has the most amazing body. And even if she was bigger or smaller or taller or shorter, it should be good enough. It should be great for the person you're with, because it should be about so much more than that. But Tom has never evolved as a human. He's just he's a basic bitch man. You know, he's a big baby basic bitch man. That's all he is. And that's on him. He's going to have to grow. But I tell you, I promise you, ladies out there, don't give him any vagina. No. He gets too much undeserved vagina. He has already gotten way more than he has ever deserved. And if he ever tries to hit on you or have sex with you, show up in 17 t-shirts and then tell him no. And his pants are ugly and that he looks old. And that'll be the best revenge you can get on a guy like that. Thank you, Felicia, for the super chat. Ratchet and Sandy Balls are both cunning, calculated, diabolical, pathological liars. I believe the timeline goes further back than Mexico. I do too. At the end of the reunion, when we have this big reveal, the Rachel Raquel interview, there's so much more she wanted to tell us. And I think Rachel Raquel, in a lot of ways, she went back home. She thought, okay, this might be a way for me to call me crazy. I think there is some guilt. I didn't believe it 2 hours ago. But after seeing that, I think there's some guilt there. And I think a way to absolve that, and also maybe get on the right side, because I think she really thought that there was a way back from this, despite all the lies and the continued lies. But it seems like it pains her, even though she doesn't show it in her face, and it's really strange reactions. After watching tonight's reunion, I feel like it pains her more than him. I don't think Tom has the ability. He can cry those crocodile tears. He's crying for himself. He's fake crying. He doesn't give two shits because he was with Ariana for 10 years, and this is how he treats her. Now, I'm not saying Rachel Raquel is misempathetic at all, but compared to him, a little bit more. And this is me coming off of last reunion where I was like, she's a robot. Now, do I still think everything she did is evil? Yeah. Do I still think it's super weird and calculated? Yes. So I guess I'm just kind of going through the feelings and process of, just processing, for lack of a better term, what I just watched. But I do think the main manipulative party in this is Tom Sandoval. And he knows that. And he chose someone who he knew he could manipulate. Now, I'm not saying she knows not what she does. She does know what she does. Rachel was, raised in a in this pageant circuit, and she took it. I've seen pageant people. We had the first Black female winner of Big Brother, Taylor. She was in the pageants, and she was definitely not like Rachel Raquel. She was very pro woman. She was a feminist. She wasn't competitive with the other women, despite them, not treating her very well. And she showed them a lot of grace. Rachel Raquel took the pageantry and went the opposite way. And so she feels in competition with other women. And I don't even know if she's fully cognizant of probably all of that conditioning and training that went on, and how she has taken being competitive with women and how negatively that has impacted her life. Because even when Ariana's like, okay, so Tom, you just said Tom Sandoval heard you and seen you. You finally felt heard and seen, but I didn't. I was your friend. I had your back. I was there for you. You cried on my shoulder. And she's like, wow. I I mean, I didn't really tell you personal stuff. And it's like, but you did. You just picked the dick because that's what you're in competition for. And we saw that happen with Oliver and you when Lala was there in Vegas. So, I don't want to be so quick to be like, oh, it's just all pageant people, because I have seen examples of women in pageants who, like Taylor, have come out, and I watch this person on the live feeds. It's a totally different reality show. It's not just edited. You can watch them in real time and how they navigate situations. And Taylor from Big Brother 24, she was met with so much adversity and so much hate from a lot of the other women. And she handled it with a lot of grace. And she has a lot of female friendships outside in her real life. So I think it's just it's a personality trait, and it's who this person is, and also how you take it, which way you go with it. If you're in the pageant world, you can turn super competitive and hate other women, or you can be pro woman and be like, oh, we're all here to be a part of this thing, and we all are trying to win. But it's also a way to network and make it can be a community of women that because there's only going to be one winner. So the best, if you are a smart person, if you're a critical thinker, if you are someone who's thinking about the future, the best thing would be to make connections with the other women, because there's only going to be one winner. So other opportunities can come from those connections, or just like genuine friendships, which are opportunities in life to have friends, which is always a very good thing. Felicia, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. And we already read it, but yes. Oh, hi, Stephen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes. Maria says, I just tuned in finally and just finished this reunion, and I am shook. I'm shook too. So then Rachel Raquel at the end goes on to tell us that she thought that there could be a throuple situation. You guys, she was like, well, I just thought that, I love Tom Sandoval. So maybe like Ariana and we could all be together. And I'm like, what in the Sister Wives is going on? I am watching Vanderpump Rules, right? So Rachel Raquel was ready to sister wife with Ariana. And I'm like, what? This just furthers what I had already thought, and a lot of us had already thought, that Tom Sandoval did, in fact, start that rumor that they had an open relationship, and that Ariana would probably be okay with that. And then when she put it to the test and was like, so do you think Ariana and I could we could just both be there? We could be in a throuple. We could live together. She could do the reading and I could do the walking on runways if that comes up. And he was like, no, because he knew Ariana didn't want a throuple. Like, she's not a sister wife. Okay. She doesn't want a polyamorous relationship. This is an episode of MTV's True Life. This is their real life. Oh my God, right? The throuple comment. Here comes Tiffany. I was like, did she just say, I never would have guessed Rachel Raquel for a throuple type. What is in Tom Sandoval's dick that this woman's like, okay, I went from having dog parties and being like, hey, I just want to win Miss Sonoma County and be a child occupational therapist, and now I want to throuple. We can all do it. It's like, did you ever watch The Real Housewives of Orange County? It's like that Sweet James. He had a stack of vaginas for his birthday. Maybe she should hit that lady up. What was that lady's name again? Naomi? No. You guys know who I'm talking about. Last season of Orange County. Speaking of, first episode of Orange County aired tonight. I didn't see it yet, but I will be covering it with my mom because she loves Orange County. But that lady, she gave Sweet James a stack of vaginas and he still left her ass and went to Puerto Rico. So that's the thing, ladies. Don't ever compromise yourself, your vagina, who you are, who you want to be, your morals, your truth, your lies for some dude. Because he'll still leave you even when you hand him a stack of vaginas. Thank you, Stephen, for the super chat. Which competition or which comp really show or which comp reality show could Tom or Ariana be on? X on the Beach. That's probably, that's not a competition show. Survivor, and then everyone just doesn't give them any food. Mostly Tom. Push him in the well. I don't know. Allegedly. Kidding. Commentary. Comedy. You know what I'm saying. Okay. Joanne, thank you so much for the super sticker. Traders. Yes. Traders. Rachel Raquel would not be good at lying, though. And we saw that. She has a horrible poker face. Like she said. She was like, it's a horrible poker face. I just don't have a good poker face. Chickenhead, thank you so much. Noella, that was her name. Oh my God, love the show. Hopefully this new season is good. All right. Now, I agree. Earlier, I got a super chat that was talking about Lisa Vanderpump. This reunion has pissed me off. Also, I made this meme. Follow me at Married the Number 2 Bravo. It's only a matter of time before Rachel Raquel shows up with Ariana's hair. So I just put Ariana's hair on her. And it's only a matter of time before Tom Sandoval gets bangs in lieu of therapy. And he thinks that is going to make him a better person. Okay. So, Rachel Raquel was 100% held more responsible during this reunion than Tom was. Lisa Vanderpump did everything she could to insulate, protect, make excuses for, deflect off of Tom Sandoval. We've talked about it before. And, you know, she does have vested interest in that they're in a business, but they're 5%. But their name is on the bar. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating because it's just a reflection of what we see in society. Women always, just like Lala said and warned her, women always pay the price worse than men do. You know, and even Ariana herself was like, I am almost more hurt by Rachel Raquel because we've now just accepted that men are trash, which Ariana told Andy Cohen, and Andy's like, yeah, I guess so. So basically, I mean, we can say that, but that puts men off the hook. And then it holds women to a higher standard. And I think that's kind of a problem that happens in society regularly from the time we're little girls till death, is that women are just like, oh, women mature faster. We just know better. It's in us to be mothers. It's like biology. We do this better. We're this. So then it lets men off the hook. So I don't think it's doing us any service by buying into this fictitious conditioning where somehow we should know better and we're a better gender. Like, then get with it. Keep up, gentlemen. Okay? Get it started. You cannot be let off the hook. So we see this. And if you look at someone like Rachel Raquel, she should not know more than Tom Sandoval. Tom Sandoval is her grandfather's age. Tom Sandoval was in World War II. He should know it all. Okay? He served his time. He has seen some shit. Korea, Vietnam, whatever else he was in, allegedly. He was there when the stock market crashed. He has seen a life. And so he should know more than her. He should be held to a higher standard than her. She was one of Ariana's best friends. 100% true. Disgusting to do that to a friend. How dare you do that to your girlfriend? However, we always have to remember, this was her boyfriend. This was her life partner. This man she entered contracts with. Home contracts. Like business thing, influencer type things. This man slept next to her. This man shared a bed with her. This man shared pets, which became family with her. This man should be held accountable to the utmost. And Lisa Vanderpump should have let all that business shit go And here's the deal. If it was a conflict for her, then don't be a part of the conversation. And I would have totally respected that. I would have been like, I got it. Fine. There's just no need for her to be there sticking up for Tom Sandoval. So I feel like Rachel Raquel was getting more grilled and Tom Sandoval was just like, ugh. And he replies like a baby. You know why? Because no one has ever held him accountable to reply like a man. So that's why you see all his replies are like, you are, Ariana, shut up. Shut his too. It's too. Because people have just been like, well, that's just him, or he's just a dude, or he's just, look at his hair. I mean, shit, the dude's had bangs. He had extensions at one point. I mean, come on. So he's going to be able to get away with this forever and ever. Amen. Until he is held accountable, until he is held as accountable as Rachel Raquel, because they are as equally. But when it comes to who really owed it to Ariana, who really owed it to the show, it's Sandoval. He knew Ariana for all these years. Rachel Raquel just came on the scene a couple years ago. Yes, that was her friend. She fucking did some dirty shit. Looks you right in your face and is like, you should have sex with your boyfriend while you're having sex with him. Gross, monstrous. But I just feel like Tom Sandoval is being let off the hook much easier. Thank you, Chicken Head. I love your show. He's so jealous of women. He wants to yell at women. He wants to be a woman. And when Tom Sandoval says, she treated me like her gay best friend, how dare you insult gay male best friends like that? How dare you? Because let me tell you something. You did not act like a friend, and you definitely did not act like a gay best friend, because a gay best friend would never do this to Ariana. So shut your mouth. Don't even, there's no way she could treat you like that, because you were never good enough to be her gay best friend. When Rachel took off her Statue of Liberty dress, the tags were still on. She didn't even get to keep the dress. Well, the tags were still on Tom's jacket as well. That was found like in the first reunion. People were taking screenshots of that. These people are returning their things to Nordstrom. Oh, no. Oh, no. Right. Pride Month doesn't want you, Tom. So don't go and start this like, Ariana treated me like her gay BFF. No, have you seen Ariana's gay BFF, Logan? Yeah, he's way better than you. Okay. A gay friend has never treated me as poorly as straight men I've dated. So no, you would have to behave so much better, and you don't have the capacity to be someone's gay best friend. You have the capacity to be someone's gay enemy, maybe. I don't know, depending. So yes, Lexi, she treated you like the cis male you were. I just know he's going to get bangs, and she's going to bleach your hair, and it's going to be a mess. And this is how they're going to deal. And I do wonder, now that she is given this little interview at the end of the third part of the reunion. I mean, had they talked about this previously? Did he know all the information that she shared? And is he, if he doesn't already know, let's just say he's angry. He's definitely angry. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Sue. And Sue, thank you so much. Sue gave me a housewarming gift, and it's the best. It makes me feel a little Rachel Raquel, but I still like it. I don't care. I liked it way before she did. I'm way older than her. It's a little nightlight, little globe thing, and it's like outer space, and it changes colors, and it's cool. It's the galaxy. It's cool. It's not like her thing. It's not like the thing that they do cheaty things. It's something totally different. So thank you, Sue. It's in my room and I love it. Yeah, when she got up and left the stage, her love didn't even follow her. He's crap. Do I think they're still together? I do. I do. Do I think it'll last? No. Do I think he has had sex with lots of people while on the road doing his terrible singing? 100%. Yes. But I think that they're still communicating, but it is such a crazy double standard. It's so insane that Rachel Raquel has to be off hiding in a mental health facility, allegedly, or wherever the hell she is, or in her hometown, and Tom Sandoval's on tour. Like, that never ceases to amaze me because it's so representative of how society is. This man who not only cheated, lied, did all the bad things, but refuses to take responsibility for it and just wants everyone to feel bad for him and wants to make himself the victim, continued to try to humiliate, defame, and create a narrative about his now ex who he was cheating on. And he continued to just be a bad person. And he was just more pissed off that people didn't side with him after this big cheating thing came out, that he is able to go on tour and that people will go see him. And that, I mean, that just shows how comfortable he is. He's on tour. He's on stage. I know what it's like to be a live performer and a stage performer, a stand-up comedian. And there's a certain amount of, I mean, stand-up comedians, we're not known for being the happiest of people. But, there's a certain amount of confidence, obviously, you have to have being up there, and you, I guess, a little delusion, obviously a lot for Tom, but to think that you're worth people's money and time, and he knows he has no talent, right? I mean, we have ears. We know what music sounds like, right? We know what screaming sounds like, screeching, and then music. We know what a cat throwing up sounds like, and then we hear Tom Sandoval singing, and we're like, oh, it's the cat throwing up. Yeah. So he's out there just like, your sex is on fire. And he's flirting with other women. He's got his shirt off. His shit don't stink. His herpes don't herpy. He's just like, and Rachel Raquel's in hiding. And she's like panicking and like, I gotta tell the truth, but he's gonna kill me. He's gonna be mad at me. And we've seen this pattern before. I mean, Ariana at the time, she was willing to not come clean about Miami Girl because she's like, well, it'll be probably be better for him, and him and I talked, and I didn't want people to think badly of him. So this guy keeps getting away with stuff because, unfortunately, women protect him in his bad behavior. And it's just so frustrating. Right? NYC Girl, I know the people involved with him financially should not be. Also, Tom Schwartz, I'm going to do a separate live, I think, about this, but he was on Jax and Brittany's podcast, and he's, he even said that Tom Sandoval is, he's got to check his ego, got to have some humility. He's taking a break from him. Do I believe all of that? Not necessarily. No. Do I hope Tom Schwartz breaks up with Tom Sandoval because he's toxic? Yeah. But then it's also Tom Schwartz is toxic. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. Because these people just keep lying to us. And to think they were in Mexico, which, we all, like I said, we heard rumblings that there was this Mexican, love affair going on during Sheena's wedding, and that Sheena's dressmaker saw them making out. But to be so brazen as to have sex multiple times, and to be so brazen and just void of humanity when Rachel tried to say she was human. It's like, yes, to err is human, like what I said in my video I posted earlier today, but this isn't like that. This is, you are full on being so deceitful and just blatantly hurtful when your friend that you're supposed to care about and your girlfriend, Tom Sandoval, is mourning the loss of a family member and her pet. You're banging in her house, lying to her and banging. I've often, lately, actually been thinking of Miami Girl. So that's interesting. I wonder what Miami Girl thinks of this. Justice for Miami Girl, because this woman put herself on television and said the truth. I had sex with you. And she was, met with two people, unfortunately, who were like, no, you're a liar. You're a slut liar. And it's sad. It's sad that this is a pattern of behavior, a cycle that keeps continuing around Tom Sandoval. And it's sad that he is able to manipulate women and trick women into having his back and fighting other women. That's what's really probably the saddest part of this is watching other women destroy each other for him. And he's nothing. Like, he's truly nothing. So, and that's when Lala talks about danger. That's a dangerous person. That kind of manipulation, that kind of lack of progression as a human being, pitting people against each other, that kind of deceit is dangerous. So, yeah, and justice for Kristen too. Kristen brought, that girl in, and the good thing is, Kristen has done so much work on herself, and her and Ariana have a great relationship now, and she's been there for Ariana, and so, that's a beautiful thing to see. And as far as Miami Girl goes, I'm sure she has a wonderful life, but I would like to see, it would be nice to see the people who were involved in that, Ariana included, eventually say something, some kind of like apology to Miami Girl. Yeah, because, some people might say, well, I mean, she still had sex with Tom Sandoval. Yeah, but you forgave Tom Sandoval. And this girl didn't know you. She didn't even know you existed. And then she was like roasted on national television as like a sleut. And she didn't do anything except for tell the truth. So, Melissa, this is when we need Shania Twain. The feminist hit maker Shania Twain. Cue Shania Twain. That don't impress me much. I don't see Brad Pitt on the show. Me neither. And Shania Twain had a very similar situation happen to her and that mutt guy. One of her friends cheating with him. And I think she tried to date her husband then after that. And I don't know. I just watched a Shania Twain documentary and it was so good. She has been through so much and she's such a powerful, amazing woman. So, unfortunately, yes. Osfly Girl says, I wanted to hear more from Schwartz and Katie. Lala had too much airtime, James too. Well, they kept talking about the Lala and James. Does anyone care that Lala and James had sex? Rachel Raquel and James's relationship was basically a joke. She treated it like a joke. He treated it like a joke. Lala and Rachel Raquel weren't friends, but we kept him to hear about it. I would love to dive more into the Schwartz-Katie dynamic, and I do think Schwartz is left off the hook so many times. The way this dude gaslights, the way this dude talks down to Katie, that's a case study in itself. That's something that you have to be aware of as well. That nice, nasty, that people pleaser, the serial killer's wet dream, Tom Schwartz, who wants to keep saying, I am not Tom Sandoval. I did not cheat on Ariana. No, but you did other things that were gross. And the way you treat Katie is gross. And us seeing it and having a reaction to it, I mean, that's just going to happen. And you have to take accountability too, sir. And when Tom Schwartz wants to talk about Sandy but having an affair, and I'm thinking, you cheated on Katie all the time. But it was laughed off. Remember, every time Schwartz cheated, it was like, Schwartz, the makeout king. Yes. And Katie had to put up with so much, and he just plays it off. This little like cute act, like, but it's not so cute anymore. The same thing happened during the reunion when you wonder, because with Schwartz, I think everyone's first instinct, I know mine was to be like, oh, he doesn't do it on purpose. He's just weird. He's quirky. But no, now that we know that he knew about Rachel Raquel and Tom, and he still made those really disgusting jokes during glamping right in front of Ariana to like embarrass her. And then during the reunion, he was like, let's talk about the juxtaposition of, okay, Ariana, like, you're humiliated. Like, you get humiliated. Like, humiliated. And she's like, I'm not humiliated. They're humiliated. Thank you. Don't try to take my power away from me. I've had that happen enough. Okay? No, thank you. He's like, okay, anyways, and yet the world sides with you. How does that feel? That's going to be kind of interesting. It's like, calm down, Dr. Ruth. What are you even talking about? What? No, Dr. Drew, quiet. That was just inappropriate. It was weird. Katie was like, that's weird. And, James is like, what's wrong with you? It's true. It's like, what's wrong with you, Schwartz? And I think he's one of those people. And I run into them, a lot of these people, as a 43-year-old woman now. who do this thing where they feign being nice and kind, but they do these little jabs, these little passive aggressive, or a way to kind of get at you. But they know what they're doing. They're like, no, I didn't mean like that. I didn't mean like that. Well, then how did you mean it? How did you mean it? And they'll just say, oh God, you're taking it the wrong way. And then they'll blame you. So it's a very similar situation to Sandy Butt. And it makes a lot of sense why Sandy Butt and Tom Schwartz are such good friends, because they're both weird, manipulative gaslighters. Schwartz has a, ironically, he has a more evolved way of doing it in a way, because his vocabulary is greater and he doesn't resort to, oh, you are. Shut up, Ariana. No, you shut up. No, you shut up. He'll say it with like bigger words. He doesn't have to scoff and go and pout about it, but it's still childish the way he does it. It's just a little more evolved than Sandoval does. So HC says Schwartz was attempting to derive sympathy by highlighting the difference in support. Big fail. Big fail. Ooh, 39. 39 is a good age. My husband is 39. They are two peas in a pod. When Ariana read down Rachel Raquel, it was gorgeous. She was like subhuman, trash. Like she just boom, boom, boom. And Rachel Raquel's like, when Ariana talked about the cheese grater, I mean, check out my video I did before this one. Ariana Soprano has entered the building and I am here for her. She gave the Tony Soprano read and the Dave Chappelle read. She gave a haters ball read. She then said, I hope the worst things in the world happen to you and only you. Hate. Like she was the cheese grater comment. That was next level. That was next level. That was some mafia, like true soprano shit. And I've been watching I don't know why I have been, but I fell down a hole of watching old soprano videos on YouTube, and people that kind of talk about sopranos and like the best of soprano clips and the best of Tony Soprano and Edie Falco's character and all this stuff. And yeah, that was some Tony Sopranos stuff. I was like, oh, okay, Ariana with the cheese grater. I mean, creative and also terrifying. But I just was like, all right, Ariana. And Rachel Raquel, I mean, she just was so ill-equipped. So ill-equipped. And then when she said, I hope Charlotte haunts you, and Katie Maloney was just like, I can't. Like, you're wishing the dog haunting on her. You're going to get her with the cheese grater. You hope the worst things in the world happen to her and only her. I mean, this is too good. The moldy fruit. Yeah, it's like she's like rotten to the core, like moldy fruit. I mean, just beautiful. Just the adjectives just flowing out of her, the descriptors coming out of Ariana. Oh my gosh. Underdeveloped frontal lobe. She came off very in New York. Yeah, she does. Then Ariana, where she's from Florida, so she's an East Coaster. So she gave off some East Coast reads, I feel like, and I was here for it. But then you also saw like the hurt in Ariana as well. As much as she is quick, as much as she is smarter than both of them could ever imagine being, there is just this hurt. And when Tom Schwartz said that stupid comment about what's the juxtaposition like? So, hey, maybe on the upside, the world is nice to you. He didn't even say the world. He said the country. First of all, it's the world, bitch. Like the world loves her. So not just the United States of America, it's the world. She started crying, and she's like, that it has helped me so much. People's support, people I don't even know have helped me through this dark time. And obviously my friends as well. But, you could really tell that obviously this is something that will shake her to her core for a long time. There's going to be implications and things that will affect Ariana, unfortunately, and trust issues that are going to take a lot to, and it's not, a lot of us have went through, unfortunately, a lot of people have went through that kind of deceit. But on the scale that she did, on national TV with a really close friend with all the lies. And who knows if we'll ever know the true truth of when this started. You know, yeah, Lala was 100% right. The woman always gets the brunt of it. Always. Always. And and this dipshit sits there and he's still 5% in Tom. And the thing, when I was listening to Schwartz on Jax and Brittany's podcast, Schwartz is showing up. He's got to go, be cleanup. He's cleanup right now at the bar. He's showing up at Schwartz and Sandy, schmoozing, hey, answering questions. People like, what's the deal? He has to be kind of the good Tom, even though, he's not really the good Tom. They're both kind of trash. But he's trying to clean up Sandoval's mess. And I do think that resentment will form on Schwartz's behalf. It's going to have to. Unless he's just so delusional and just he does let Sandoval walk all over him. There's been a few times where he's stuck up to him, but very few. So Tom's out there living his rock star fantasies, and Schwartz is picking up the pieces of their businesses. Tom Sandoval is not doing anything to better himself. He's doing everything to feed his ego, which is exactly why he cheated with Rachel Raquel, to feed his ego. These women mean nothing to him. When he says he loves Rachel Raquel, and in this reunion, she said, I just couldn't stop being with him. Because I love him. Finally with someone I love. And then they're like, Tom, do you love her? And he's like, sorry, but yeah. He doesn't know what love is. He doesn't know what love is. He uses women. They're a tool to make him feel better. They're a tool to advance him in his life. He doesn't know anything about a partnership. He doesn't know anything about loving someone so much that he would put them before himself or their needs before his. He can't even be there for a loved one during the worst times of loss, and even the loss of a pet, a family member. He's still out there banging other people. So this man doesn't know love. He doesn't love Rachel Raquel. He doesn't love Ariana. He doesn't love himself. He doesn't love his music. He definitely doesn't love his mustache because he got rid of that shit. He's got a lot of problems. He does it. Oh my God. When he said, we don't live our lives by logic, I was like, no shit, Tom. No shit. And everyone started laughing. And the best thing, like I said in my last video, the best thing you can do to an alleged narcissist like this one is laugh at him. Men like this, they hate it. Oh my God. Oh, it's the worst thing you can do is laugh at them. That's why there's like a market for that. There's that one girl on TikTok, I forget her name, that one woman, and she literally has built her following all around going after and laughing at problematic men. Those men who are like, misandry and women, and yeah, you got to act like a woman if you want a man, and you better learn how to cook, and just the sexist of the sexist, the misogynist of the misogynist. And she just so brilliantly fucking roasts them and laughs at them, and it kills them. And then they come back at her like, you're ugly, your teeth, your hair, your whatever. And she's like, okay, bitch, I just bought a house for my TikTok money. So cool story. But yes, it was so hilarious seeing them all just be like, dude, you sound so dumb. You look so dumb right now. Like, he looks ridiculous. Okay. And he is pathetic. Yeah. When even James is, and I was just like, I get that they were there a long time and all that stuff. But when Lisa's like, James, stop it. We're going to be here all day. It's like, well, then Lisa, go home, take a nap, go pet the horses. We have business to, it's okay. We need this. This has to happen. All right. And this is for entertainment purposes. I feel like this third part, and I'll get more into it after I watch the Peacock version and see the longer version, but I feel like there was a lot of things that were brushed under the rug, like the Tom dressing up like Rachel Raquel for Halloween. And even Lisa was like, what? Why would you do that? And then Andy's like, all right, we got to move on. So when James makes these little jokes like, you shut up, Tom. You shut up, Tom. Shut up, and Tom's like, you shut up. Looks so ridiculous. Tom, as a 73-year-old man, you look so ridiculous. The other people at the retirement home are not going to be impressed by that. They're not. Okay. Yeah. Go. Oh no, one of the horses did die. That is sad. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, seriously, Rihanna, seek an answer. She's the answer to all the problems in the world. It's just a Rihanna song away. And if Tom Sandoval ever sings or attempts to scream into a microphone a Rihanna song, we must hit the streets and protest. We must. We cannot allow him to ruin any more beloved music. Okay. And the feet. I mean, he's not wearing socks. This man has no respect for his body, himself, or the women around him. It was just so much. Oh my gosh. His only comeback is so elementary. It's like, you are. Did you shut up? I'm not shutting up. Ariana. I love you, Ariana. The amount of times this man said he loved her, shut up. I just kept saying, shut the fuck up. Shut up, sir. You do not love her. You're just saying that to save face. You're just saying that because you think it sounds good to say. Anyone who loves her would never do these kind of things. You continue to, this is what I don't like about Schwartz and Sandoval, is they do this thing. Schwartz does the same thing to Katie. It's then, oh, but I love you, Bubs. I love you. After you just basically reamed her and tried to make her look stupid and told her all her feelings are wrong and all her, the way she recounted everything that happened was completely wrong. She was always the problem. It's you, huh? You're the problem. It's you, and then you're like, but I love you. But I always have love for you. Like almost like it's a pity love. Like they're doing these women a favor and these women are leaps and bounds better than them. And something about her is opening and lots of progress is being made. And I think these women are going to be very successful in everything they do now that they've lost all the dead weight of these baby men, these underdeveloped men, these men with weak frontal lobes of their own, Instead of saying, I love you, so it's cool that I wrote, yeah, but I loved you. You don't. This is just a way for that things that people say to get out of stuff. Like, but I did love you. No, you didn't love me. Because if you love me, you would never treat me like this. And then continue to disrespect me, try to humiliate me, and create a narrative to bash my character. A false narrative at that. So no, you don't know what love is. If you loved me, you would have let me go. You would have been honest with me so that I could make the decision to leave the relationship. That's, I'm sure, how Ariana feels. If the moment you felt this inappropriate relationship developing with Rachel Raquel, he would have went to her and been like, I'm fucking up. And this isn't right. And I can't let this happen. And she even said, because I think Lala asked, if Lala's like, I think this has been an emotional affair for a while. And had Tom come to you and said that, Ariana's like, yeah, he would have had two options. It would have been, you never talk to her again. And we move forward and fix whatever's going on. Or what would be the other? I guess leave him. The other option. Yeah. And they didn't talk about them setting up a false narrative. That's something I really want to dive into, but I think it's something that people really weren't cognizant of until they saw those episodes. So when they filmed the reunion, it was too early. Ariana and the crew had not yet seen the rest of the Vanderpump peeps. They hadn't seen those episodes. So that's why a lot of them have said, they do feel a little unresolved after the interview or after the reunion because they didn't see the blatant setup that the Toms were trying to do on them. So frustrating. They really should have just pushed this reunion out. It would have benefited so many people. Time for Rachel Raquel to drop her stupid, meaningless waste of judicial time, power, money, temporary restraining order so that they could all be in one place at one time. But they had this March date, and I understand production, but I mean, you already had to make adjustments to, have the cameras back up. Once Scandoval broke, you might as well just push it out a little bit. Allow, everyone to see the full season. But since they were still editing, and they didn't want a lot of things getting leaked, they weren't letting the cast see the episodes, I think, as soon as they normally would. And then that's no fun. If they haven't seen everything, then they can't truly have a reunion. So I feel like they need another Peacock. You're gonna have to get Andy, whoever, and get a part 4. Yes, Lindsay, we need a part 4. A part 4. NYC girl says, I think they thought the anger would subside, so they had to get them in there. Yeah, I think that is a good point too. Is that they were worried, things could resolve, but with something like this, but yeah, I do understand that aspect of it. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I cannot wait to watch the longer version. Sam, I don't blame you because that's kind of where I'm at right now, where we talked about this a little earlier. But I do think that with that last 5-minute interview with Rachel Raquel and seeing just how scared she was and how isolated she is, and again, all those decisions she made, and she made her bed. She made Ariana's bed and slept in it and slept with her significant other in it. But to see her, that's what men like that or toxic people want to do to others. They want to isolate you. That is a form of abuse. People who have experience with abusive relationships know that to be true, is that, whether it's a man or a woman, their goal is to isolate you from everyone, and then they have control, because then you rely on them more. And unfortunately, that's kind of seems to be the situation Rachel Raquel is explaining now. I mean, she blew up her whole life. She has no friends except for that Joe girl, and that Joe girl seems to be gone with the wind. Not gone with the wind fabulous like Kenya Moore, just like gone with the wind, whatever is going to work for her, because she threw out her best friend Kristen Doty so she could be Tom Schwartz's roommate F buddy. And Tom Schwartz is still like, I don't know if I like her. I mean, she's great. She's cool. She's awesome. But I don't know if I want to be my girlfriend. So that's not necessarily a really great friend for Rachel Raquel, because if the Toms tell creepy Joe, hey, we're done with Rachel Raquel, then she's going to be done with her too. So the isolating part is hard, and it's almost impossible for me not to sympathize with her in some way. Of the part that I really struggle with is the fact that Tom Sandoval is so old, and Rachel Raquel, I mean, she's 28. 28-year-old should know better, but he's much older than her. Okay, like I said, he's been to Vietnam. He has seen some shit, so he knows better. And he has a history of this. So far, we don't know Rachel Raquel having a history of this behavior. This has been horrific behavior. But we don't know her to have a history of this. We do know Tom Sandoval to have a history of this. Tom Sandoval has a history of this cheating, lying, manipulating, pitting women against each other, and using them as scapegoats, yelling at women, being aggressive towards women. And we don't know Rachel Raquel to be that way. So she could ideally be an easy mark for him. Just throwing that scenario out there. And the throuple part was really freaking, it was sick. And who knows what this man has told her? Who the frick knows? I mean, Ariana, she knows because he said similar things to her. Kristen Doty. And Kristen Doty has said straight out, like, this dude is trash and he's a problem and problematic and toxic. So I'm paraphrasing, but I mean, that's basically, the information they've put out there. So in that sense, I feel in a way she's just another victim of him. I mean, she holds her own responsibility in a lot of ways and does not know how to be a friend to anybody. But now that he has her like isolated, I don't know. I want to see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Jenny says that you could tell Rachel knew she was on a desert island when the producer told her to leave again so Sheena could come back. I know. And then it just shows you, like, honey, you're not special. You're not even a part of like the real cast, like the OGs or anything. You're disposable. And Tom Sandoval will treat you as such, and so will the show. And you had a much better chance of making it and being successful in this show and in the world with the support of the women. But unfortunately, you threw all that away and you shit on the women, the same women who had your back. That was so out of left field. And that just, like, people get mad at me, but it gives me fucking groomer vibes. I'm sorry. This dude, I mean, the manipulation, the like stuff, it just doesn't seem like something she would have wanted before him. I could be 100% wrong. But JC says she wasn't manipulated at all. She went into this willingly with eyes wide open. She's not a toddler. She is not a toddler. You're 100% right. She's not a toddler. And what she did was wrong. And she continues to do the wrong thing. But we have seen hints of her maybe wanting to, or it could be me just reading more into it, of her wanting to do the right thing. And that is with her telling more truths as of late than Sandy Butt has. Maria says, Rachel saying she suggested a throuple makes me believe Sandy Butt did tell her he had an open relationship. Oh, for sure, Maria. Yes. Sam says, I get that it's hard to feel sympathy, but she's at least away getting help. And I feel like at least shows some regret. I hope that she really is getting help. And I hope that in my little TikTok video I did, just reacting to all of this in the moment, I was like, where's her sister? Does she have this older sister? I know the older sister was like partying at Tom or Schwartz and Sandy's and might have been, cheering for this blasphemous relationship. But where is someone in her life who can pull her out of this? Is that even possible? Yeah. Ugh. Lindsay says, we do know that she's been a fan and probably knew about Tommy, but that's the thing. There is this sense of calculation that comes from Rachel, because I feel as though she just wants a spot. She wants a spot as a main chick. She wants to be a star on this show. And she did come in as a fan. And you guys make perfect points here. Fake Merald says she isolated herself. She had friends that support her. Right. It was right in front of her. And she threw it away. But then you have to remember, she does have this 90-year-old man who has more money than her, who has more clout than her, who has, more pull on the show than her, who at the time was the voice of reason on the show, was the one everyone kind of trusted in a way. Tom and Ariana were like, oh, if they said something, that usually was the opinion, it was the narration of it. It was the opinion that the show most likely wanted the audience to have. So it's a lot easier for him. He's coming from a place of more power than her. I know. She thought the only way to keep Tom would be to accept Ariana. Ugh, so gross. Miranda says filming is set to begin soon. I wonder how that will work. Well, Lala said it best on The View. She said, listen, we are all hard up to be on reality TV. We're going to all film together if we have to. Okay. And that's the truth. As much as, they all say they won't film together. And I do think Ariana is going to push back a lot. But as for the rest of them, if they have to film, they will do it. Mm-hmm. Diane said, Tom and Ariana, roughly then the age Rachel is now, hazing Kristen. So he has a life, right? I mean, the Ariana we love now, and I love Ariana. At Raquel's age, she was saying some problematic shit in defense of Tom, under Tom's advisement or Tom's manipulation or Tom's love or Tom's love bombing of her. She was like, look at the treatment of Miami Girl. So that's why I do think, and I've said this from the beginning, I do think there is, if Rachel Raquel wants to change and wants to be a better person, there is hope. With treatment and help and therapy, you can break these patterns. Tom Sandy Butt, he will die this way. He will die up on a stage thinking he can sing while banging two best friends and someone over there and denying it all. He's too old. And he doesn't think there's anything wrong with him. So, Amberlina says she knew James cheated on her, but she stayed for the fame. Agreed. Hollywood, LA, and fame is one of the worst, most addictive drugs. And the way you will see people compromise themselves, their morals, what's best for them, it's crazy. Yeah. 28, she should have known better. I mean, 28 that's a big age. But when you're looking at Tom Sandoval, who's 106, I mean, that's a lot bigger of an age. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Tom had LVP backing. I mean, still does. There is a whole campaign being started. There's a whole bunch of propaganda being put out like, oh, come on. We're all humans. We make mistakes. Even Andy Cohen was putting it out there. And I was like, no, this dude hasn't even told us the truth. He hasn't the tone. So I can have all the bad opinions about him I want. No, 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 no. Immortal Geo says Tom Sandoval probably had Tom Schwartz have sex with Rachel while he watched. Oh, gross. He had told Peter and Jax that he thought about that before. Oh my God, I must have put that out of my mind. Can't wait till Ariana buys her own house and moves out, leaving this guy behind. Yes, Donna, I agree. I did see that Sheena was out. There was a picture of her that popped up on TikTok, talk of her out talking to Schwartz. So we'll see. I mean, they're gonna film together and they will talk. Haley says Bravo isn't worried about feelings. That 5 minutes was to groom the audience into feeling sympathetic. Good point, Hallie. Sorry, Hallie. Towards Rachel, so she can be the main storyline next season. Hallie, look at you thinking like a producer. I mean, you're probably not wrong. You're probably, because it was coached. I mean, you did see production going, come on, give us more, give us more, give us more. JP Rob says, what does it say about Ariana that she was ride or die for a tool like Sandoval? She's not too bright either, maybe. I don't think it's that she wasn't too bright. I think that the smartest women, myself included, can, you can fall victim to these kind of toxic people, unfortunately, and you can want to believe the best, and then you also have this whole like there's layers to this shit. There's the whole conditioning that goes along with women and kind of this pick me mentality, and there's something you realize as you grow older as a woman, that if a man treats one woman one way, if he's like a cheater and a liar and stuff, but then says, oh, you're different. You're not different. There's nothing about you, unfortunately, that's special, that's going to change a problematic, toxic dude. There's just nothing about you. And if you choose to go that route, you'll most likely spend your life, kind of battling that. You'll spend your life having to live that reality with a liar and a cheat, because there's nothing in you. It doesn't have anything to do with you. You can't be good enough. You can't be bad enough. He's just going to do what he's going to do because that's who he is as a person. That's what he does. So when they say, obviously there's exceptions to rules. There are people who have made mistakes and cheated, and relationships that have stayed together, put the work in. There's therapists that have written books that in some situations, cheating has saved a relationship. However, I would say that is the exception to the rule, probably, and different circumstances, I'm sure. So, of course, not everyone who makes a mistake is like, that's who they are for the rest of their lives. But when you run into a sandy butt, someone that has a pattern for this. So he has a pattern of cheating, a pattern of manipulation, a pattern of love bombing, and just a real big liar. You want to believe that they've changed, or there is this, I think, especially when you're young, there's this thought like, well, I'm different, and he says I'm different, and so he wouldn't do that to me, but if he did it to her, he'll do it to you. And yes, Jacqueline, Allie is an upgrade. When Rachel Raquel was like, and then when she went in the back and they were like, hurry up, Rachel, you gots to go, and then her and Tom Sandy Butt laughed and said, yeah, Allie is the upgrade. It's like, yeah, she really is. She really is. Diane says, I'd love for Tom to murder a cover of Shaggy's It Wasn't Me. Somebody banging in the shower. It wasn't me. We were banging on me and Ariana's sofa. It wasn't me. Ariana, get out of here. We even did it in our backyard. Ariana, because she said my glitter pants were ugly. Ariana, we did it in my driveway. Ariana, in Rachel Raquel's Nissan or Volkswagen. Ariana. Yeah, it's just, but What a loser. No, I don't think James should be drinking either. Canadian girl said she looks so scared. He's abusive. Oh my God, you can't raise a man. You cannot. Sophie says the more you trust a monster, the worse it gets for you. Mm, mm, mm. JP Rob says, I don't think anyone in this cast is interesting enough for their own spinoff. I disagree. I would love to see something about her spinoff now that Katie and Ariana are single ladies. I would like to see it. Hell yeah. Why not? You know, navigating LA in your 30s, opening up business. It's like the time of your life. Like the song goes, these are the best days of our life. Just raise your glasses high. Well, they're doing big things and they both look fantastic. Throw Lala in there as well. I mean, Lala's dealing with some pretty serious stuff with Randall, which obviously would be a big part of her storyline. So I don't think that's true. Oh my gosh, we have to talk about this. The look on Ariana's face in the clip of Billy Lee and Tom was cringe as Schwartz was explaining where the cheating rumor came from. It was like a nail in the coffin. Okay. Part of me kind of believes that. I know I shouldn't. But how quickly Ariana was to be like, it's not Billy Lee. She wouldn't do that. No. And I'm like, And if you look back around that time, there were after shows where Ariana was mentioning threesome stuff. Like, I don't know if it was for jokes. I'd have to go back and watch it again. But I ran across one recently and I was like, on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And even though she says, we've never had a threesome, and maybe they didn't. I don't know. Right? Oh, Tom and Tristan. Gross. Bring Satchel back for a sandwich. He has another girlfriend. Well, I do think something happened. I don't know. I go back and forth, but I kind of do think something happened between Tom and Billy Lee. And I kind of think maybe there was like a Billy Lee, Ariana, maybe Tom watching. I don't know. I might be just making shit up at this point. I probably am. But I don't know. Why so after everything that happened, it just surprises me that Ariana would be like, no, Billy Lee wouldn't do that. She's good. It's like, you know, and now I do question. I love Ariana. I love the ladies on the show and stuff, but you know, there was some stuff held from us. There were some things that we didn't get full truths on. And yeah, that's their business, but I don't know. And then Billy Lee's trying to be like a crusader for Tom because some cake shop in LA made a cake that said Scandoval's a liar. And she's like, oh, that's bullying. It's bullying. Oh my God. We throw on bullying like so quickly. Girl, that's not bullying. That's a song that James Kennedy wrote. Scandoval's a liar. Scandoval's a liar. Oh, you're right. That could be the reason too. Ariana's brother hooked up with Billy Lee, so that could be weird. So maybe that's where the softness towards her comes because she has the history with Ariana's brother. Something's weird there because after being, you know, lied to and deceived by a friend, and then to have Billy Lee come in and take up for Tom Sandoval and be at the house, walking the dogs and stuff. And Ariana was so quick to be like, no, those rumors about Billy Lee and Tom from back in the day, not true. Nothing's happening between them. I'm like, well, how do you know? He's such a liar. How do you know? I mean, I wouldn't probably have anyone's back at this point, you know, unless it was like, I don't know. I probably would think everyone's a suspect, unfortunately, because that's a situation that, you know, he's put her in. Even Sheena on her podcast, she had Lala on and her Sheena's attorney that she used for the temporary restraining order. And they were talking and Sheena said, even, you know, once the rumor started with this, like, you know, when the Scandoval broke and now people saying things like maybe Brock, or people are like, well, what about now everyone's questioning everyone. Like, what about Lala? Lala's so close with Sheena and Brock and the family. What if Lala and Brock are having an affair? And Sheena's like, I know that's ridiculous, but there's still times when I'm just like, I'll have a bad dream that Brock left me for Lala and they're raising Ocean and Summer together. Or I'm worried if we're all at Disneyland together, with the kids, and I go one way and Lala and Brock are alone together, people will start to say things. So it really had a rippling effect on that friend group. So Steven says, do we think condoms were ever used? Perhaps a pregnancy announcement's next. Well, that was the rumor. People thought Rachel Raquel was preggers, but we haven't heard yet. Diane says, Ariana believing Billy Lee so quickly. Even Sheena asked Brock some questions, right? And she was just very quick to be like, yes, I don't know. Have you seen the shirtless pics of Sandoval lately? Hot. No, I cannot find him attractive. He has lifts and issues. I'm sorry. You can do all the ab work you want, but if we're doing lifts and no, the bad singing, the lifts in the shoes, the cheating, the gaslighting, the gross, I don't care. I can find abs other places. Lots of people. Abs aren't even that big of a deal to me. So I don't know. Sam says, I actually think there's a chance Tom and Lala may have had a brief drunk moment a while ago. What? That reunion where she was demoted to friend of. He was defending her. Lala? Oh my God. Even the parents are in question. Diane says, if I were Billy Lee and if I had slept with Tom, I would deny. Who would put themselves in that? No, you shouldn't. The lifts. I can't find him attractive. The horrible singing, the lifts, the bell-bottom tight pants, the gross mustache. No. Remember Sheena mentioned Rachel also saying crawled in bed with she and Brock, but Sheena was in the middle. What the fuck? I know. Nah, it doesn't hit for me. I wasn't listening. Exactly, Alex. No, that didn't hit for me. I wasn't even listening. Lala and James with the best commentary. Well, if you're as talented as Prince, you can wear lifts. But if you have no talent and you're an asshole, you don't get to wear lifts, okay? Prince, he transcended all trends, all rules of fashion because he was Prince. He could do everything. He could write music, sing music, play every instrument. He was the most talented. But Tom Sandoval, he's just like a sad man. So, yeah. Pammy 411. Rachel Raquel wanted a throuple with Tom and Ariana. Tom put the kibosh on it. Rachel Raquel and Tom Sandoval had sex. They didn't do that break thing that Tom Sandoval said. They had sex multiple times in Mexico during Sheena's wedding, snuck around and had lots of sex while Ariana was grieving the passing of people who she cared about, like her grandmother and her dog, Charlotte. So she was crying and shaking and saying, he's going to kill me because we were supposed to keep this secret together. But I can't keep these lies in anymore. I can't keep these lies in. Yeah, Prince could do anything. Prince just he changed the game. He changed everything. Everything was just like the androgyny look. Like he could do it all and still be handsome. I don't know how he did it. He just did it. He was very talented and very philanthropic and never talked about it. And from Minnesota. So obviously I am partial to that part as well. Yes, and there is a lot of talk, like Miranda's saying, about this Valley Village spinoff, and that's been in the talks for quite a few years before, Stassi got canceled and Jackson Brittany left. There was talks about, the Vanderpump kids are now becoming adults and have families and bought homes in the Valley. And so it'd almost be like a Real Housewives of the Valley with this next, wave of their life, which is the marriage and the kids and all that stuff. And I'll be honest, I'd watch it. Okay. Hey, Slasher Wave. The butt out jeans were a bit much, Glenn says. I mean, Sophie says Sandy Butt's like a sociopathic puppeteer with a PhD in manipulation. Yes. Hallie says, did we ever figure out who Tom was kissing in Mexico in that scene from the trailer that was released when all this broke? It looked like Ariana in their room, but who knows at this point? I don't think we ever really got confirmation on that. And Travelbug says, I think Rachel and Tom got together when she was with James, hence why he paid for the engagement. I mean, I think there's still so much more to come out about this story. We haven't seen the truth. And it'll be interesting to see the cast and others' reactions to this little Rachel Raquel bombshell interview, or if people knew. Because, some were saying, oh, I know what it is. And then they would say, no, I don't know what it is. So who knows, you guys? But I did want to come online and give you guys a little bit of a breakdown from the Bravo version of the reunion. And I will be back most likely Friday or Saturday. And I will do the Peacock longer version because that one's always better and there's lots of swears. And I can break down that. Give me a couple days to digest because right now I'm feeling a little more sympathetic for Rachel Raquel than I ever have. A little worried for her that it looks as though there's some fear of being honest and that Tom Sandoval has coached her into, deny, but she might want to tell a little bit of the truth now. But then who knows? Because like Hallie says, this could just be production kind of manipulating us to have her on, get her back in our somewhat good side so that we'll accept her in the next season of the show. I don't know anymore, you guys. It's just, it is crazy. But we should all dip out and we should go to bed, just like HC says. Hopefully this. Oh, Simone? When are these episodes available in Australia? That sucks. I wish I could give you a way to watch it. Sometimes I will say, Simone. Well, I don't know. Search on YouTube though, because there are some. Sometimes there's a little bit of sound issues with them, but some people do post them on YouTube. I don't know what channels, but if you just kind of look around, sometimes you can find the whole episode. First, you'll find a lot of those ones that are like full Vanderpump Rules episode, and you'll click on it, and then it's just like, go to this website. Obviously, don't click on that website, and it's just like an ad, and you're like, oh, you liars. You liars. No, I don't think you're a bad person for not caring about her. I think, you don't have to. You don't have to care. That's the joy of it. That's your right. You don't have to waste one caring moment on her. It's not like you're doing anything to make her life worse. You're just like, I don't give a shit. Okay. I think she made her bed and she, now has to lie in it with Sandoval sometimes when he's not on the road having sex with other people while screaming into a microphone. Simone said late afternoon, evening, Thursday, the episodes become available here. Oh, okay. So tomorrow, the Peacock version is always better. Always better. Can you get a VPN? Oh, you can. Yes, Sam. Simone, you might be able to try with a VPN. But sometimes those VPNs have worked for me to watch like Big Brother Canada, Big Brother Australia. I've watched, speaking of Australia, with a VPN. The Nord VPN is the one I would recommend and the one I've used before. So there you go, you guys. All right. I'll be back tomorrow night. I will not be live because I'm gonna go watch the Firebirds. Our hockey team out here is in the finals. So, and I'm a Minnesota girl. I can't help it. I like the hockey. But I'll be back Friday. I might actually, Nana and me and my mom might go live earlier tomorrow in the afternoon before I go to the game to talk about Orange County if we have time. We're going to do that. Otherwise, it'll probably be this weekend because I'm going to be covering Orange County with my mom. And if you've never been introduced to my mom before, join us. She's a very good Minnesota time and she's very opinionated. You'll see where I get it from. Justine, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you everyone for the super chat, super stickers, comments, people who became members on the YouTube channel and supporting the channel that way. I really, really appreciate it. Justine says, although Ariana seems to hate him, she seems fixated on Sandoval and Rachel not being together, as if part of her still wants to be with him. It's probably a natural feeling after so many years. I would think so. I would find it hard. As much as she says, she's becoming what's the word that she used? I forget the exact word, but as much as she says she's becoming indifferent, I think that was the word, to their relationship. It's be so hard after all these years to turn that off and not wish them the worst, just like she said, the worst things in the world happen to you and only you, and hope that Rachel meets the same fate as her, and that Tom never knows the touch of a woman again. Okay. Yes. Everyone dip out. Yes, we are growing in subscribers. So subscribe if you haven't already. And check out the video I did before this one. It's about 25 minutes. And it was me commenting on part of the reunion that we got a sneak peek of tonight's reunion. NBC Universal is trying to strike me for copyright, but I disputed it. And I said, listen, that is fair use. I altered some of it. I provided commentary. I'm on the screen the whole time, and I added music. So if that's not fair use, what is? What is fair anymore, you guys? All right, you guys, take care of yourself. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you very soon. Don't forget to leave a comment after the video posts. I love hearing from you since I can't get to all the comments. And always remember to enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. And thanks a lot, Rachel. Thanks a lot.
To text me, I don't even know what to say. I'm sorry. And I said, off, you rat. And I blocked her.
Thanks a lot, Rachel. Thanks a lot. If you like what you see.